house again?
We don't know yet. We won't know till we get in.
It always shows this.
Yeah.
There we are. Perfect.
It's either gonna be front of the house.
Right in time for hard point.
Yeah, front of the house.
Hey, this time now, guys, let's run across the yard to the tunnel and try to go the other way while they're sitting there waiting and send one guy in or something like that. Just like running in. Okay, we got
Okay, how about our audio?
There's the house. Got it, though.
Perfect. Awesome. Sorry about that, folks. A little bit of an internet issue. Not a big deal. The result of that match was 6-3. Trauma does take the victory. Unfortunately, DeathSquad were not able to pull things back, but in a very valiant effort, they got pretty darn close, I gotta say. They put in the work. Trauma just a little bit overbearing, a little bit too difficult to compete against on Search and Destroy, but we are here on Hardpoint House, and this is their opportunity to come back. They did perform marginally better on Hardpoint than Trauma, but DeathSquad already with one loss under their belt. We'll see if that mentally plays on their performance here.
They've got nothing to lose now, have they? They've got that means the game's now tied up. So they've lost a game advantage, but now this is now an even game.
We're in.
Nice one. Get back in there. Friendly fire on the
Doyle just absolutely mothering everybody left, right, and centre. Bless him. So he's angry. He's mad.
Yeah, one of his true skills, and having played with this guy a lot, one of his true skills is being able to hold the hard point while also getting elimination. Sometimes it's rather difficult to do both simultaneously, but he is willing to charge in, get multiple eliminations on his breach, and then also retake the hard point. This man is a monster.
Got one.
He's definitely got iron underpants. Let's put it that way. I'll give him that. Obviously, when he goes flying in on the old skiddies, I'm sure there's sparks coming off from his arse. I must admit. But I think that's his mode of play, though, isn't it? It's all in or nothing on a hard point, because, like you say, you've got to not only gain the point, you've also got to retain the point. Keeping the guys out is just as vital as actually sat in it. So, as you know, it only takes one extra player to nullify that.
And only a 7-point difference. And only a 7-point difference between the two teams right now. Actually, correction. DeathSquad were able to just tie it up. Mental Man desperately trying to get into this point, but they're not able to retake. Unfortunately, with it being at the back Jeep here, or the back flatbed, you're able to tuck into some of those corners quite tightly, and also utilize the cover that's present there to really hold this point down. And right now, DeathSquad are just proving that to be true. With 61-36, they have taken a pretty substantial lead.
Let's eat them all up. Come on. Fuck these guys.
I'm going back to his house.
Guys are proving to be difficult as he does a quick little slide 360 or 180 to take out Mental Man there in that exchange. Now we're back at, what do you call this? I always call it pagoda because it makes me think of like one of those places in the mall where it's like sitting in the middle of the aisle, those stores.
Yeah, I remember O'Doyle were talking about this.
You're not on the point, shut up.
Pergola? No, it's
Pergola? Pergola?
Pergola. I don't know.
I guess. It starts with a P.
I'd call it a lean-to because it's leaning against something. It's a lean-to. I think what we call it in Britain. I think we call it a lean-to, but it's definitely not. It wouldn't keep you dry in the wet. Let's put it that way. If it's
that's for sure.
It's gonna be a crap barbecue.
It'd give you a very strange, tan, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. I'd say, yeah, it is. You wouldn't need a stripy shirt on that one, fella. No, I'd say pergola. It's go with pergola. I might have to go to chat GDP on that one and have a quick word and say, what do you think these? Okay, so 53, 81 is that?
Yeah, 81 to 55. It does look like Trauma's working their way back up in the points, but with it switching now over to the helipad, this is a rather difficult spot to hold at times. You gotta be really quick on your flicks and your shots. I see this going back and forth between the two teams.
Just get that momentum of points at the right time, isn't it? You know, you can get a few 3-4 points here and there, but you've got to try and maximise the control point as much as possible over that 30-second period, which which can make a massive difference in the scoring numbers.
One's in tent, right side.
Trauma coming back in a ridiculous fashion. They have closed the gap significantly, almost as if this point was never contested to begin with.
Oh.
Close game.
And they have taken the lead. Trauma looking really strong. We got great perimeter play here by Mental Man, keeping the opponent off of the point, giving his team an opportunity to hold on for dear life. And they have taken the lead with the rotation of the hard point now towards the front of the house.
He wasn't even being quite subtle about it either. He's on top of the hedge between the house and the wall, and he's just basically picking them off with at a second's notice, which, you know, he's not giving himself any cover. Obviously, the amount of shots he's getting in he's using that as his cover. You know, best form of defense is attack, so he's definitely taking that to the next level.
And here comes O'Doyle blitzing into the driveway, able to take one out and retakes this point.
Yep.
Ah, shit.
And this is a bit of a back and forth between the two teams. We're seeing more contention here on this point than any other that we've seen thus far.
NGR from the shed.
It's difficult down there where the vans are, because like I say, you've got the two walls in front of you, the hedge and everything else, so you've got to be using your grenades and your flashbangs as much as possible to clear that corner.
108 to 107.
Oh my.
DeathSquad with only 1 point advantage here.
I'd love to know the heart rates of these guys. If they had those heart rate monitors and actually feed into the game, that would be incredible. It's just to see how the pressure is getting to them.
I mean, if it's equatable to mine, you know, someone call an EMS, because I am sweating here.
It's because you got your jacket on, mate, because you're suited and booted, mate. That's your problem.
But the lack of pants should help with that, shouldn't it?
Supposed to tell anybody about that. You weren't supposed to mention that.
Hey, you know where I'm wearing my special briefs, okay? They're my fancy briefs.
Your Christmas ones. You're wearing your Christmas ones.
In my jingle bells, yep. Well, I was gonna say
128. Oh my God, this is incredible.
I was gonna say that DeathSquad were maintaining the lead, but it has since flipped in favor of Trauma, who have retaken and recaptured the control.
Not far behind.
No, all it takes is a few seconds.
Yeah. Also, taking advantage while the actual point is being generated, getting there before it starts and holding it as quick as possible. Now, the guys were a little bit behind there, but they've actually managed to get back in. Oh, and a great grenade. Pineapple squelches, they still love a good pineapple squelch.
And these flashes are crazy. 143 to 144, 141. Does look like DeathSquad is trying to take over once again. Have they been able to flip the script and take the lead? They have not. Trauma is still about 10 points ahead.
O'Doyle is trying to do his absolute best to get the actual game the numbers back.
Oh, and they finally did flip the script. It does look like DeathSquad has taken the lead by 3.
Oh my God. This is going to go to the wire.
Tunnel.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're going to reach points. If it continues to go at this rate, we might be playing time here.
So whoever's going to have the biggest kahunas here, I think. Who's going to go in and have a...
How?
Go in and be that hero or
DeathSquad holding on desperately with 162 to 148. They got a pretty good lead here, but they are at the T intersection in the tunnels. Can they hold on? DeathSquad looking for a win here to capitalize and regain and tie things up after a loss on search and destroy. DeathSquad holding them off. Can Trauma regain and get the lead, or is this going to go to time and they are going to fall victim to the clock?
Another fabulous flash in there. Getting them in. Oh, can't even see the bloody scoreboard.
We got 174 DeathSquad. That's about all we got so far from what I can tell. 170. Yeah, that's it. I checked both streams. Couldn't really tell. We're at the shed hard point. 169 to 170. It is so close, neck and neck. DeathSquad with a 1 point lead.
Christ.
They are starting to retake the lead here, holding this capture point on shed. Can they get it? 178 to 169.
Oh, fuck.
Here we go. Final seconds.
I think they've got it.
185 to 169. Still holding the point.
fuck.
Is DeathSquad? Can Trauma
One inside the shed,
retake here? They have to desperately get in there, at least contest it. They're able to do so. They now have control of the shed.
Going on the fucking point. Doesn't matter.
They've got to control it for the rest of the actual point.
Oh, the Molotov's coming in, doing destructive damage. Absolutely devastating.
I don't always play things. I can't do
We need
nothing.
6 seconds.
It's literally carnage. Absolute carnage.
House,
Love it.
house.
Oh my god, this is intense.
Oh my gosh. It is contested here in the front. 194, literally 6 points away from victory is DeathSquad. Trauma, they are keeping that victory away from DeathSquad. They've got to get in. They've got to contest. They retake. They just got to hold it for 5 more seconds. Can DeathSquad get it?
Oh,
Quick. No.
It has been retaken by Trauma. And Trauma win
Hold it. Nice.
by 3 points.
oh god.
Expected, whatever.
What? I don't understand. They came from behind at least a 30-point deficit.
Can we have VAR on this? I want to check in. I want to see if there's offside. I want to check if the ball was out to play. Can I have VAR on this?
3 points.
Let's get VAR involved, mate. Jesus Christ.
That is probably one of the closest hard points I've ever seen. I mean, DeathSquad were poised for victory, literally 3 seconds away. They retook it, but as soon as they did, Trauma came right back, galloping on their horse, cleared the location, and took the last remaining seconds away from DeathSquad. I mean, phenomenal match.
Keep going, you fool. Keep going. We've got the rest of the stream to go. Come on, keep going. Keep going.
I cannot believe that outcome. Absolutely stellar performance by both teams, but Trauma, they're 2 up now, baby. Now we got plenty of more games to go here. We got a team deathmatch next. We'll see. It looks like they're going to be going to town, and that will conclude the first half of this event. We got a back half of this. We got 1 more to go. So anything is possible. Right now, just as an FYI, we are running on Mental Man's server. Not that that's really played to the favor of any team necessarily, but I do want to point out, like, whoever is running the server, it does tend to favor whoever's kind of on that server side, of course. So they're likely playing on an EU server now, and they'll be going over to a US server. But one thing I do want to point out, which Titch did remind me of, is that this is a true PSVR versus Quest match. This is all PSVR players on Trauma versus all Quest players on DeathSquad. And when people say, I've read the comments, I've read the statements on various platforms that, well, one has, one is favored to win over the other because of the manual reloads or whatever. The PSVR players, many of them are running on the aim controller. So you tell me if manual reload is actually faster than what's happening with automatic reload. Evidence right here, folks. There is no competitive advantage whatsoever. Absolutely stellar. Now we're on team deathmatch on town.
And what you're used to. What a scrap! I can't. I'm still absolutely knackered after that, mate. I need to sit down. I'm sitting down. I need to lie down. That was it.
One on the bike.
You need to sit down further.
God.
Or at the station now.
I need to go back in my hot tub, mate. I don't think I can take anymore.
Okay.
Now, what I think is going to be interesting on this map is, as I was saying before, there's a natural hard point near the police cars and the ambulance as well. We're going to see a lot of competition to hold this spot. Right now, Trauma has control over it as DeathSquad are making their way through Wellside, through ambulance to try to take over the police cars. And I suspect we're not going to see a lot of eliminations here. I think once a team gets the lead, they're going to try to back off. They're going to try to hold that lead for as long as possible and wait for the opponent to make some mistakes.
I've noticed on the last few games that it's not the amount of points. You're not pushing for ultimate amount of points. It's the amount of actually keeping them from losing points. Because, like I say, if you can pick them off on a regular basis, like Mental's doing here, know, covering these corners is vital, and it's going to be so hard for the squad to try and get anything in unless they actually get anybody on a bazooka, anybody with any sort of nade throw, and you need 1 or 2 in there at the same. Oh, and taking it over. They've taken it over, so they've actually got back in.
One thing that both teams are going to have to be very careful of is going up through that tunnel stairwell. We often see a pretty standard trap being set. Someone, 1 or 2 members of the defending team, and I say defending of that particular location, are holding down that stairwell. So trying to approach from there is massively disadvantageous. It's very dangerous to try to go on that point. And right now, DeathSquad have a 4-point lead on Trauma, but this can, as we saw in Hardpoint, can very easily switch.
I mean, that stairwell is awful to get up, especially if you've got anybody behind the trucks. And like I say, looking at the early play, they were obviously getting the height advantage, you see, right down to the bottom of the stairwell. So it's just a matter of position, isn't it? It's just keeping eyes on everything, any eventuality. And that's obviously in this, you've only got the 2 corners to worry about, you know, the stairwell and the ambulance, which is keeping you in a very, very advantageous position.
Nice shots here by Mental as he's pushing in on the police car location. He does get a couple eliminations. That grenade does minimal damage. And I will say that DeathSquad are doing a phenomenal job holding them off. Trauma not able to breach this after holding it initially in this matchup. They have yet to retake it. 27-23 though. Even exchanges here. Only a 4-point difference. This is big for both teams.
It's so hard to get there.
Yeah.
Massive, massive game this is.
I flash in Mario.
Now I would say that
going up center.
I would say that DeathSquad is in a more precarious position as they have already lost the first 2 rounds. They're in desperate need of getting this win. They're performing well. They're getting on the point. I say getting on the point, but they're getting into a position that they are confident in defending, and they're doing a good job keeping a minimal lead. It doesn't matter if it's 1-point lead or if it's a 10-point lead. Any kind of lead that they can obtain at this point is going to be critical, and right now they've been doing a pretty good job with it.
Game management, it's all about game management, and as long as these guys communicating that information on a regular basis, they can, I mean, it's only 4 points in it, but again, it's fine margins. These 2 teams are on their day unstoppable, you know, and like I say, as we saw in the last game, it was literally that, again, that cigarette paper difference between the 2. You know, it's, this one's going to go down to the wire as well.
Yeah, 36-40 at present with DeathSquad 4-point lead. It is so close. Again, the performance of these teams are marginally insignificant. I mean, they're so equal. Yes, Trauma has come out victorious, but by how much? I mean, that's really telling how close these teams are.
I mean, looking at the stats, this is DeathSquad's round, you would say, because they seem to be percentage-wise a little bit higher up on the numbers when it comes to kills to death. So AD is definitely in their favour if they can hang on.
Again, they're gonna have, both teams are gonna have to be wary of their top slayers. They have been pushing out those numbers. Are they holding the top of the leaderboard right now? We got Mental Man with 11 and 12. I mean, he's still got a negative KD, but those 11 eliminations are absolutely critical at this point. They do have to be wary of feeding, though. If they are losing more exchanges than they are winning, obviously it's going to be going in favor of their opponent. They got to be mindful of that. Moving fast, moving slow, they're going to have to change their pace, and it looks as though they've stopped competing for the police cars and the ambulance. They have taken a different approach, which is kind of what you need, especially if you're behind. Change the pace of the game and change the location of your confrontations.
We're coming up from the tunnel, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's all part of the game plan. You know, if you're running into these brick walls all the time, stop running into brick walls because you'll end up with a broken nose. I think at the end of the day, they've got to think of another way of getting, you know, the best out of these guys to get those numbers up. So good on them for actually realising the game plan wasn't 100%.
We can see, though, that DeathSquad are still holding their position at the police cars, which is proving to be successful, given the fact that they were sitting with 51 eliminations last time I checked. 53 now.
From behind.
Yep.
And that number keeps rising as they keep getting more and more eliminations there.
No, it's
Trauma,
Where is he? Up on
Trauma
the
just struggling a little bit. They're not able to put out enough performance.
That's such a bottleneck up there when you get into the, especially when you've got 4 or 5 people trying to go up and down that stairwell. It's just an absolute mess. You know, it is what it is.
Oh shit.
Little fountain.
Ah, there we
John,
are.
that is.
Couldn't get him. Fuck.
And grenades. These pineapple squelches are coming in very handy at the minute on that stairwell.
We get this. We get this.
Yeah, I don't think Trauma has had the opportunity to try to recover from this these losses so far. I think we got a little teabagging from Mental, man.
That is, you know what? There's one thing I hate more than bad losers, and that's bad winners.
It's so hard to get him up.
Oh dear. I wonder if his PlayStation button was a bit stuck there, and he was just trying to free it up. I don't think it was intentional. I bet it was actually. Cheeky sod.
Yeah, you know, with the frequency at which he uses that butt, I'm sure it gets stuck every once in a while. You gotta loosen it up, tapping it a little bit.
Yeah, it's got too much chocolate and jam around it, mate. He's licking it off
from the station. Behind you guys.
Oh,
well, the gap is closing 62 to 72, 10-point difference where it was a little bit deeper.
So we're behind.
But Trauma struggling to come back.
They're not making the inroads in any sort of great numbers, so they've got to pull this one out.
But with 1 second left, it does look like DeathSquad are going to take their first win, and now it's going to be 2-1. Trauma still with the lead, but that is going to close out our first half. I feel like we've been saying our feelings as the game's progressed, but we're finally at halftime. How are you feeling? What are your thoughts about this matchup?
I need some tablets, mate. My head's killing. I can't keep up with this. It's making my head explode. I wonder if I've got no air. Bloody hell. This is what I was expecting it to be. I thought Trauma will come out all swinging. You know, it's like a boxing match, isn't it? You know, they want to get the first knockdown in. They want to get the second knockdown in and then finish them off. For TKO or whatever, but then, like you say, a bit like Tyson Fury, he gets knocked down, he gets back up again, and it's like, yeah, come on, sunshine, you've not laid a punch on me, blah blah blah. And I think winning that last game for half time, getting that point in just before the half time is going to be massive because you know what, we can do this. We can do this, so that's going to give them a massive incentive now. Thinking, come on, guys, we've got them on the rack. Let's go again, and I think they're going to be buzzing, ready to go for the last 3 rounds because I think again these are going to be so close, ridiculous.
We saw this happen earlier in the league when the Murdos were out, down and out. They lost the first 2 rounds and then they won the 3rd round and then they went into the second half and continued to win the remainder. So it's completely doable. We could see DeathSquad flip the script here and possibly take the lead or at least put themselves in a position to tie things up, of which a tiebreaker would then be necessary. But this is going kind of how I expected. Obviously, Trauma getting the 2 initial wins, I was like, not exactly how I thought it was going to go. I was pretty certain DeathSquad was going to take Hardpoint. In a miraculous turn of events, Trauma took the lead, and they were able to get that win there. But
I mean, that was sensational. I mean, how they managed to pull that one out of the bag. I mean, I think David Copperfield couldn't have done a magic trick that well, to be honest. I think how they managed that. But again, these are the fine margins. I think both teams. I think there's a lot of nervous energy. I think in both camps at the minute. You can see not mistakes being made, but you can see probably overstepping a little bit more than they would be normally. Where they would be, I think they're trying to say, right, we want to muller these because we want to show them that we're the best. And we think, well, putting yourself in the deep end, you're giving yourself that opportunity, but you're also putting yourself in that zone where you could be picked off, and then the game has changed completely. So yes, it is pretty much how, like you say, how I would say the game was going to go, but not as close as that. Jesus Christ! I mean, both teams could be 3-0 up by now. That's the stupid thing about it. Either game could have gone either way. I think it's just a match of those guys just being at the right place at the right time to finish the game off. I mean, to be fair, bloody Hardpoint. Christ, don't give me another one of them. Then we got a defibrillator. I think I might need one in a minute.
Getting AED ready, folks, because we in the back half we are going to have another progression of Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, then Team Deathmatch. Hopefully, we see a little bit of a different performance out of DeathSquad on Search and Destroy. I would say that it favored Trauma a little bit more heavily. Of course, Dojo is one of those maps where I feel like if you get the right spawns, if you have the right tactics, you can definitely outplay the other team. And I gotta admit, and I will say this time and time again, I believe Trauma is better at the long range shots than DeathSquad is, but I think DeathSquad has a greater close range ability, which is kind of why I think they kind of came out victorious there on Town. As they were holding that particular location, it forced Trauma to move in closer to them, and it gave them the peak advantage. They had the angles held down, and they were able to dominate and capitalize on that. And they funneled them into this certain lanes that they needed them to, and were able to capitalize and ultimately take the victory. Now, was it by a significant margin? No, I still think that they had to put up a very tough fight, but ultimately it proved that it at least proved to all of us that they were superior in the close to medium range gunfights.
I think, again, like I said earlier, I think it's all down to making the game predictable. If you can actually get into a position where you can get the shots off early and get into those tight positions, like you say, it's like a boxing match. You've got people who've got long reaches with jabs and whatever, but when you're getting close and getting those uppercuts in, it's a different game altogether. So you have to play to your strengths and your advantages. But sometimes there are times that it doesn't always come off, and you've just got to say, actually, guys, we've got to do it this way around, or step back, or at least have a plan B. Because like I say, these fine margins is going to be on plan B. I think plan A, they seem to work really well, but then plan B and C, that's when it starts to, how close do these teams know their backup strategies.
Now, there's a lot of talk about possible ties here. I don't necessarily want to get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to let teams decide that, but I do want to bring up the fact that we do have another season coming, but it's not going to be called Alvo Test League. It's going to be called something else. So I kind of want to give a little bit of a shout out and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight as to what that's going to be called with this upcoming trailer right here. That is right. That is right, friends. The Alvo World League is what the new season is going to be entitled, because it's obviously this game it's played by people all around the world. There are people on the Pico who are playing over in Korea and China, and we see players from all over the place. So why segregate a particular group and just only have one particular region? No, we're going to incorporate all the regions, Alvo World League. And based on the number of teams that we actually have who sign up for this competition, it very well could be regional based into a world-based competition. But we'll see. If you guys want to participate, be sure to sign up. We will have everything available to all players in the current Discord, and we will be making some adjustments in the current competitive Discord. And if you're already part of the Alvo Discord, not the competitive Alvo Test League Discord, but if you're part of the regular Alvo Discord, we'll be sure to get you the links as well. We got to go through a little bit of adjustment period so that we can start developing the competitive Discord so that all the appropriate channels are open for all of you. But I'm super excited, and I know that Gaming Synergy is going to be assisting and managing the stats and everything. So you guys will have to create an account over on Gaming Synergy. It's free. It was developed by Sean, and he has utilized this system for 13, now 14 seasons over in the Gaming Synergy Pro League. It's tried, true, and tested, and I couldn't have asked for a better partner than Gaming Synergy. So we'll get all those details to you guys in the future, but there it is, Alvo World League. I'm excited.
I'm just glad they didn't call it what I wanted to call it, which was the Alvo Testicles League. But we move on. Move on.
Yeah, right. Don't we look dapper? I don't do ties. I don't I don't like the feel of like it choking me. I don't know, like
well, I like. You know why these are called dicky bows? It's the young brown pricks.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like ties. I think ties look boring, but I think dicky bows are the way forward.
I have tried bow ties, I have tried neckties, and it always feels like I'm being choked. So I just don't wear them. And you notice how I don't even button the top. And I've had fitted shirts, and they just don't work. But anyway, enough about our attire. Why don't we talk a little bit about the next round here, search and destroy between Trauma and DeathSquad. And right now, it does look like DeathSquad has a player advantage. Very quickly, they eliminate Trauma here on town.
That first round, my audio dropped because I did a voice command.
I blinked and missed. Wow. Oh, Jesus. They're coming out swinging. I think they've
all we need is one attack.
Disappointed losing that last game. I think they've just decided to go full for leather on this one.
Wow. Particularly with their initial search and destroy, like they've got to be feeling that one. Here comes Mental Man putting on the moves, able to take out Kaiser, but Doomsday dropping him in the end. And we got ourselves a 3-on-3.
Oh, another one fountain.
2 versus 3. I tried to slide.
2-on-3 so far.
You still got one in Fountain Doom.
DeathSquad losing one after the other. Dr. Doom left alive to take out the remainder of Trauma. Only 2 members left though.
He's coming for you.
V1.
He's coming through now.
Oh, he was fucking right there at the barrel. Shit.
Okay, you can't see. There's another one we can't see.
And there it is. Trauma able to get the final elimination, tying things up 1-1. What's going on, Sean? How's it going, man? BB?
Exactly. We've essentially won if we can
Biggie Smalls? Dippy Chaos? Am I atop? I don't know. Do I assert dominance, Dippy? Perhaps.
I push B again, the market.
Yeah.
Passively, of course.
For that.
Yeah, A.
I do so with the utmost respect and kindness.
Coming to A.
Here comes Mental Man, turning the corner, getting 2 eliminations at Zigzag.
Got Kaiser.
And very quickly, DeathSquad
have
dropped a couple of members.
Oh, yeah, they're in there. They are 3 alive.
There are 3 members alive to the 2 of Trauma. Now only
1 inside.
Oh, wait, never mind. I thought they lost another one, but
No.
Daft and Black Mario still
they
alive.
have to attack. So.
Can they see me at the boxes here?
Being chased.
They are still in there.
One.
They're going back now. They're going back. Daft, they'll
Keep
come
an eye on that museum.
Comms are going to be absolutely critical in this exchange. It does look like DeathSquad are slowly maneuvering themselves around towards the fountain location. See if they can get that market plant, perhaps. And GR able to take out one, leaving one left at Zigzag. Do they need to contest? Here comes Diver coming in, getting that final elimination. DeathSquad go up 1.
I restart my controller fast.
I can just hear the noise coming from Diver's microphone right now. I think end up losing certain eardrums when he's actually getting that final kill. Bless him. Know what he's like. He's a little bit excitable, bless him.
I pushed the ambulance.
Love him to bits, bless him. He's a good lad.
Now that's 3 rounds down. We have flipped roles, and now it's Trauma's chance to try to get
3 at A.
a couple of wins here on the attack.
Wonka, watch out.
Nice shots here by Mental Man, taking 3 out!
Wow.
At Wellside.
Unbelievable.
Linda?
Unbelievable.
He's going for a 4th. He loses that fight against Dr. Doom.
He's done the damage. He's done the damage.
Diver Boys left against 3. Always seems to be the case. We're back.
Fountain, yeah, Fountain going back.
Another 1v3.
Let's
go to Diver still with a 0% win rate in a 1v3, but anything's possible. Can he do it here?
Yeah.
Here he does.
If anybody can, Diver can. He's a crafty devil. Absolute crafty devil. Believes in his own abilities, and that's confidence personified, definitely. So.
Yeah, he's coming 6 seconds.
A little bit of craftiness going on there for Trauma, getting in those crafty positions.
Yeah, Fountain.
And you don't look in the corners.
Mental Man is keeping visuals, and they do win that one. Trauma tying things up 2-2. Diver putting in the effort, but of course, with eyes on him at all times, it's gonna prove difficult.
It's always, I know a lot of people say, oh, if you die early, you're no use to anybody, but sometimes it can be a massive advantage. If you've got eyes on very early across the map, you can identify where they are, what they're doing, and get the others in position very quickly. The beauty of this game is, even when you're dead, you're still massively, massively part of the game.
Oh, he slid back round, he's in the corner. One's coming through.
Mental Man getting taken out at long.
Right, wait. The two
No, Doyle holding off the ambulance.
behind the actual fountain, peeking, he's gone flash, and now he's coming. What?
Still many members of Death Squad alive. 4v3. There goes another one on Trauma. 4v2.
Got him. Bombs dropped over here by A. That's where bomb is, Doom.
Then just cover and hide.
Now there's only one left. Daft Bomb
Can't stay. They got
trying to survive this onslaught of Death Squad. And 1v4, Doyle finishes things up, and they take the lead once again, 3-2.
Sorry.
I love being the big.
I mean, I really don't know which way this is going to swing, because very often we've seen Trauma come back and get a couple of wins, tie things up. Now, we didn't see that in the first Search and Destroy, but
Nothing certain at the minute, definitely not.
it's absolutely a different show this time around, with Death Squad showing a little bit more dominance. Nice pickup here by O'Doyle with a nice angle. He gets a second one.
One more there. One more coming through now, Kaiser.
He does get tagged, though, from around the corner, but not without taking a few with him.
Kaiser got him. Daft got Kaiser. Okay, there's two left. Middle
This is it. If you can make yourself useful by taking off just that one, you
Okay, no, he came out. Two at B. They're both there.
yourself that
One poking along the alley. Okay, so the
chance for your teammates to come and finish off.
As soon as you come in, he's in the
Oh,
left-hand
NGR winning that fight against Mental Man.
corner. Yep, there.
Still 3 members left against Daft Bomb. Trauma.
Did y'all get
They
it?
got the
Okay,
plant.
good. Just go
But he got eliminated, and all they have to do is try to get that. There was a good exchange there, leaving Diver Boy all
Very
alone.
good.
All he has to do is get the defuse, and they're set. Plenty of time left to do that. But great effort by Trauma.
Two more guys.
Ow.
Hey, worked. Good job, Diver.
I go for my words.
All right, Death Squad. Poised for victory here.
Oh, they are taken.
But does the pressure mount up enough that it plays psychological warfare on their game?
Game's
and
not
causes
won yet,
them to
that's the
falter?
problem. Lady's not even out of the bath yet. She's not even started
One
to
market,
sing yet. She's
two
not even got a
market.
towel ready.
All of them
That's
to market.
that's a long way to go. But, play
Oh,
games
fuck.
tonight. Don't worry about what the actual
I got
current
one.
score is and what the possible scores will be. You've still got to finish the game off.
2 left.
Very quickly, this has turned in favor of
Yeah.
Trauma.
In the store.
3 members still alive.
Don't rush. Yes.
NGR left all alone to fight this one off.
The last one.
He does get
NGR 's the last
elimination,
one.
1v2.
Oh,
NGR
He's
with the
in the
skill
market.
to do it.
In the shop, we defending.
But can he against one of the top killers of the team, Casper,
yeah, I just need
Still
to...
in
and
the
his
market.
support Bronco?
Yeah.
No, Neil
So
was
he
very
had to go
nervous
to
about
B
this
or A.
match, but I just told
So,
him to go out
shall
and
we
enjoy
go to the
himself.
same
He
time?
got the bomb. He got the bomb. And now he
Himself
come
under
to
way
you.
too much pressure.
Nice.
If you can pull this one off, I think he's in the right place.
Trauma do come out victorious there. They get closer to tying things up. Score now 4-3 in favor of Death Squad.
Heart rate is increasing. The heart rate is increasing.
Oh, Ghosty.
But once again, we got Trauma. They're on defense. This is a position you want to be in when you want to try to retake the lead.
No.
Death Squad are not
two
going to
down
make it
there.
easy on them for sure. Nice shot here by Mental Man. My God,
one
what a
in the
jumpy
shop.
shot.
One more in the shop.
Yeah, he's flashed.
So, O'Doyle is in
Mario,
the shop.
zweiter Raum, linke
Next to the
Seite.
shop.
Right,
Right here,
Mental. At the
Doyle
bicycle.
picking one off.
Bicycle.
Coming in.
As he comes out
What?
of the tunnel,
What?
Doyle
What?
getting a little stabby
I had a shot
McStabberson.
on him and I had
He
a
gets
bayonet in his
another
face. And, yeah, US server.
Gets a final elimination, finishing things
Exactly.
up. Score now 5-3, and he's a surviving member, man. I mean, that talk about desperation right there. They're on match point.
I'm gonna throw a flash, Kaiser. I'm gonna go the other way around.
Brilliant. This is where they can finish things off. But again, don't get too cocky. That's the
Oh my God, Kaiser turning that corner with confidence.
sake.
Right, another one.
Gave them a right bitch slap in there, didn't he? Bless him. For God's sake.
But it is a 2v2 now. They were able to get a couple eliminations, close the gap, and player advantage. Dr. Doom, surviving member. Gotta finish the 2 off.
Yeah, he's in the shop, first door.
Oh, now 1 off.
One left. Go
1v1, Doom versus Bronco.
Go Planet A,
Hey,
Doom.
Doom, you got the ball.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, we'll tell you when he leaves.
Doom with a long-standing history
I'm watching
of
shop.
tense situations
I got my
Okay,
hands
he's
on
versus
coming now,
Bronco,
Doom.
who I can only assume is a little bit newer to the competitive side of things.
Okay, he's coming zigzag now.
He's coming up.
Got a plan at B.
Okay, he's at on balcony now.
There
He's
it
coming
is.
through.
Now all he has to
Coming
do is
through. Get ready to
defend.
pop him.
They've got visuals with the
There he is. He just
cameras.
came through. He's coming through to your
Dr.
side,
Doom, can he hold him off? Can he win this gunfight?
Nice, good shit, Doom.
And there it is, Dr. Doom with a sliding victory. And we have the same score as the first search and destroy, but we flipped the script and it's now in favor of DeathSquad. We now have a tied game 2-2. Folks, we might have a tie. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know.
I've got a dicky bow. I ain't got a tie. I don't know.
I mean, incredible play. Dr. Doom really showing up there with 14 eliminations himself. I mean, this man put on a show. If only we had his perspective. I can only imagine what that would have looked like. But his KDR was, I believe, well over 2 there. I mean, this guy... he turned things up a notch.
On S&D. That is scarily good.
Yeah, and if that speaks to what's to come in the future game modes of Hardpoint and Team Deathmatch, I mean, trauma beware.
Yeah. I think confidence is, the scales are tipping slightly. They've won 2 on the trot now. They've gone back from 2-0 to 2-all. It's anybody's game, and they've still got the point advantage. So, they are technically 2 up as it stands, if you add the extra point on.
All right. I'm going to be putting up a new poll for everybody.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Let's see.
Can't be tied. Can't be tied.
Sorry for all the clacking, folks. I'm just going to put up a new poll. If you guys want to know where that poll is, just look right above your chat, okay? Right above the chat box, you'll see a drop-down window. Be sure to select who you think is going to win. Given that we are at a tied game already, and we're beyond half point at this moment in time, has your opinion shifted? This is all anonymous. If you're afraid of causing some sort of confrontation, no worries. No one will know who you vote for. But who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be DeathSquad? Is it going to be Trauma? As we make our way back to Dojo, but this time, instead of Search and Destroy, it's going to be for Hardpoint. Oh my gosh, looking right now, it is so close. It is about as close as this game is. So far, there is favoritism towards DeathSquad, but that could very easily flip. We will see. But here's Hardpoint on Dojo.
And the guys have just said they can't draw the match, so there's going to be a winner tonight, guys. There's definitely going to be a winner tonight.
NGR?
No way this match will be tied, because it's with 2 points there's a chance, but not 3. Not 1 point. Anyway,
I'm on it.
Realise that.
Thank you so much for the support, guys and gals. Just know I haven't had it go unnoticed. I know Titch is already thanking everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Sorry I'm not announcing it. Trying to focus on the game for your entertainment, but just know that we greatly appreciate the support. We're just happy that you're here, and hopefully you've been enjoying. If you guys haven't followed already, please consider doing so, regardless of platform you're on.
Right, new spot.
Just go and buy a VR headset and get this game. Simple as. Don't even consider doing anything else.
Yeah, tunnel or Doyle's there.
This is where
Especially
the
now because it is at a discount at the moment.
Yeah, on all platforms.
Same spot.
Right now we got 25-13. It does look like Trauma has the lead here on Hardpoint. Now, once again, as we saw on House in the last Hardpoint confrontation, It was so close. So just because there's a point gap at the moment, don't expect it to be there much longer. It is already flipped, 25 to 29, now in favor of DeathSquad.
One is up high.
If DeathSquad wins this, they will win the whole tournament, by the way.
From where I got shot. From...
Because they can't be caught.
Yeah, the spot is clear, but...
Technically 3-2 ahead.
I'm getting from another.
I mean,
Trauma
looking
got
at-
to win the next 2 games.
Looking at the score, I mean, they were able to garner a 10-point lead from that hard point alone. DeathSquad, they held the lead before. So like, let's not get things twisted. There's a strong chance Trauma can come back. I mean, Trauma won by 3 points last time, and it was suspected that they weren't going to win at all. So who knows? Anything can change. Anything can shift here in this moment.
Can you miss it? I think, like I've always said in the game, you know, people say, I can't cope with this game, it's too quick. I says, well, you blink, you're dead. It's as simple as you know this game just absolutely is speed. Stephanie, you know, just speed of the game just absolutely catches you out. You think it's going to be slow paced, but no. You know, you're sliding around, you're flying around. It's just, God knows why Steve wants jetpacks. I can't cope with sliding on the floor, mate. Never mind bloody in midair. Christ. A minute.
So one thing to make note of, which we haven't really highlighted yet, because we haven't seen a lot of it, is the kill streaks. We did just see a 7-kill kill streak. The dogs were let loose, and that came from DeathSquad. So someone is doing significant damage against Trauma over there on DeathSquad.
I've seen a couple of bazookas been set up, but like I say, not a full 7-1. Like I say, against these guys, if you get any run going, 5 and above is a hell of an achievement.
Well, DeathSquad scraping the surface of the
29, Christ.
Yeah, they were scraping the edge of that you know, 3-digit number. They finally broke the barrier, and we're seeing a lot of really good perimeter play, a lot of really good control the hard point location, not just the point itself, but the surrounding area as well. I mean, this point gap is way too significant for Trauma to come back. I mean, we already got over 100 for DeathSquad, and I don't think Trauma has broken 30 yet.
14, 29. It's looking very, very dicey now for Trauma. They've either got to be completely on the ball here, not lose anything, or not die as many times as they are doing at the minute.
Or it came down to a few seconds, and now I think it's going to come down to the fact that DeathSquad is very likely going to take this by point cap rather than time.
In the office,
with the numbers increasing as quick as they are.
Coming from Alvo Jeep, Kaiser.
Oh, we just can't get in the zone at the minute. They're just getting picked off so easily.
Yeah, I don't even know what else they can do at this moment. DeathSquad have just dominated. Perhaps, yeah, maybe their search and destroy wasn't superior here on Dojo, but their hard point is bar none far superior than Trauma. I mean, just the absolute control of the location, not just the site itself, but the location surrounding it. I mean, like you said, Trauma can't take a breath. The moment they take a breath, they're gone.
Done. Yeah. Absolutely. Almost, I want to say whitewash, but it's an absolute demolition job here.
Not gonna win hard point. Not getting that point.
Literally can't. Like I say, as soon as they blink, they're dead.
One thing to keep in mind, I guess you could argue is a little bit of a fact, a fun fact, is that DeathSquad were put together to go up against Trauma, because Trauma came out of the beta test tourney victorious, which is why the G36 is named Trauma. That is what they had won. That's what they earned. And DeathSquad was like, no, no, no. When it comes to the league itself, we're coming for you. And they organized a team to take on Trauma. And it's very clear that it was very carefully organized and designed for this significant purpose. It's proving successful here.
I'm coming, Dojo. Is that okay, guys?
This is where the
That's fine. Okay.
this is where they put the they've put their allegiances together and made themselves potential champions here. Can't be much left. Doyle is absolutely mothering them at the minute.
I'm all the way back at the noodle stand.
I'm with you, Neil.
Score.
I'm coming.
Yeah, there's just too much of a gap there. Now, Trauma were able to come back and get 76 points in total, but they contest the point, they capture it for a brief second, and then they lose it. I mean, DeathSquad is just dominant, 181 to 79. This is too significant of a gap.
No, I can't see anybody getting this back, especially against these two teams. They're not. No, 10 points is tough to get back. Never mind 100.
Yeah.
Ow.
O'Doyle with a great spot here, sitting right behind the pots. He gets 3 eliminations. You could tell because he was injured and he used his 3-kill kill streak to heal up there, which I don't see a lot of people using, but he doesn't run without it.
I use
that
it.
little medibag.
I use it because I don't use the. I never look at the map. I'm rubbish at looking at the map. I know a lot of people use it. I don't. I just need to stay alive. I don't stay alive long enough to use the bloody map anyway, so it's bloody pointless. To stay alive a bit longer, but no. Again, it's using the streaks to your advantage, to your best advantage. This is looking.
198, 2 points. Now, this feels like the hard point on town, minus the fact that Trauma is so desperately in need of holding a couple of these points. Now, they do have control at pots here, but that could very quickly turn.
It's not going to turn anything significant in towards Trauma because they're so far behind.
I mean, here come DeathSquad. They're taking control. 2 seconds, and that's it.
There you go. That's game.
Wow. I never thought we would see a dominant performance like that, but there we go. DeathSquad getting the win and finally taking the lead, folks, away from Trauma, who have led this entire matchup. I mean, brilliant performance here.
2-0 down to 3-2. That's pretty much with the extra point. That's game. Trauma can't win. They can draw the match, but they can't win the tournament.
Now, one thing I do want to try to capture here, to the best of my ability, is that scoreboard. Unfortunately, I haven't really been able to.
200 to 88, it was, Wolf.
And what was the performance of each player? I did see some numbers in the 30s for eliminations. Yeah, I'm kind of in that position too, where like I thought I would have it. But regardless of the overall performance of each player, the team play there for DeathSquad was bar none far superior. It just incredible play. I don't know what else to say other than like it was a positive performance by DeathSquad and Trauma. They genuinely couldn't catch their stride.
Oh, they hit the numbers so hard early doors and held it. And to be fair, there was no way coming back from that. They basically covered the corners, covered the perimeter so well. No. Now,
I was able to finally get some of the kills here, some of the scoreboard. And if we look at Kaiser, I don't have Dr. Doomsday. He seems to be running the server. But Kaiser walked away with 38 eliminations and 25 deaths. That's still not a huge KDR. Like let's very clearly point that out, that they were getting killed left, right, and center, along with Trauma, who also suffered significant number of eliminations. But everybody hit double digits. The person who scored the least only got 14 points on Trauma, but the person who scored the least on DeathSquad was 15. So I would say it was still properly balanced.
That's the beauty of hardpoint, isn't it? It's it's not about the kills. It's nothing about the kills. They don't add any extra points to the actual hardpoint. It's just literally how you defend, how you obtain, and that's the beauty of it. It's not all about smacking everybody as hard as you can with your bayonet. It's literally keeping them out of that zone. So, happy days.
Now we'll see how this.
Go ahead. Teamwork.
Yeah, the foretelling of that, though, of the KDR, is how is that going to translate into a team deathmatch, which we have here on Monastery, which if you ask me, like, as much as I love the new edition, I still don't want to compete in a TDM here on Monastery. It's just, it's chaos. It's chaos. This is a free-for-all player's dream. But for me,
this is why we call it
flash
murder
boxes.
monastery. If you want to level up, if you want to get as many kills as you humanly possibly can in a game, monastery was always a everybody wanted to play monastery because you just leveled up so
Search
quickly.
left side. Oh, Kaiser. Got 20
And
boxes.
skillful, not in the slightest. It was just pure reaction. So
Another
yeah,
one.
it's carnage. It's funny though. It's a good laugh.
oh yeah, it's a great time, especially if you're in this map with friends. Like it's just brilliant, especially with if you get a lobby that's willing to do knives only or machetes only or like pistols or whatever, or those dual revolvers. Like it's an absolute blast. It's hilarious. Everybody's just having a good old time. And I think that's the wonderful thing about Monastery and why people enjoy it so much is because there is so much chaos. There's very little room to breathe. And if you're just playing a Publix match and looking to have fun, this is a map to do it in. Absolutely a blast. But competitively, it's one of those maps where you kind of sigh at. You're just, oh.
Yeah, it's a starter map, isn't it? It's a starter map. If you want to level up, brilliant. This is the map you want to be in. But like you say, for private matches, you want to be dual shotguns and grenades or whatever. You know, you just want to have a laugh. You know, but like I say, competitive-wise, good God, this'll be. It's just carnage.
That's really hard to capture in the scoreboard at the moment. I do see 35 to 35. It is all tied up, actually, now that I was able to capture that. 1 point lead by DeathSquad at the moment as kills continue to roll on in. But it is so close, so tight right now between the two teams.
Backside of church.
We're getting really good at shooting people guys off each other's backs. I tell you.
Again, this was going to go down to the wire as well. I still think this whole game will end up as a draw. But like you say, that extra point advantage has been big difference. That big difference.
I'm gonna hang back because I'm not doing too hot.
I just got killed by a bazooka. Yeah, once we get it, put it back.
Like you say, if it ends up 3-3, they'll
I'm hanging back. Y'all are doing fine.
probably
I'm the one that's negative right now.
want to rematch somewhere down the line. I suppose like the Super Bowl, isn't it? You can go through the whole season and go, you know, 27-0 or whatever you guys do with your scores, because I can't work half of it out. You get to the Super Bowl and you get absolutely mullered. It's just how it is, isn't it? You can win your divisionals and all that, and you come into the Super Bowl and you get absolutely get your asses handed to you. But I think these guys today have just proved that they are, you know, the top 1% of the player, you know, the quality player base.
But that's what it comes down to, right?
If I could be 0.5% as good as some of these guys, I'll be happy.
But that's what it comes down to, right? The composition of both teams and how they match up against each other. Right now, like it's proving that they are incredibly equal. 55 to 55. We got a tied game here on Monastery Team Deathmatch. Here's Mental Man dropping a couple members of DeathSquad. I mean, the composition of both of these teams are just, like you said, they're superior. You find these guys in public matches, best beware. You got to be playing your best game if you're one of those sweaty players like myself. Even if I see any one of these players, I immediately go, oh, damn, here we go. I actually got to put on my sweatpants to go up against these guys. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's these.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? I'm one of these people, and I've always said this in all my, you know, competitive life. You don't get better playing crap people. You only get better playing good players, you know. You know, whatever sport I've ever done in my life, I've never gone, oh, I'll play him because he's crap. No, I want to play him because he's better than me. I want to know how he's better than me. I want to work out why he's better than me. That's all it boils down to, is why is he playing better than me? And it's, you know, can you utilise any of their skills in your own way, or pinch the best bits of everybody? But that's why I've always looked, you know.
Oh, fuck, he's coming to our side tunnel.
Player, it could be the top 3 best
outside
players.
The tunnel on our side.
If you can pick a little bit of each to your advantage, makes a massive difference. So don't worry about playing these guys. You know, you will learn. For those guys who are, you know, first-time players or even recent players, don't worry. These guys, they will help you. Actually, some of these guys will give you hints and tips. So don't be afraid to ask.
Absolutely, yeah. I think.
Take care of the live mic.
And the tunnel doom
quick question for you, Mick. So you're taking the best parts of everybody here. I'm just curious. How are you doing?
Oh, he's got me a crystal tunnel now. He's going back.
Slightly above average, I think. I would say. I mean, I've not been. Not been involved as much as I'd like to be. Obviously, with the PSVR 2 coming out, I've obviously been playing that a lot more. But obviously, you know, before that came out, I was holding my own. no, I would, you know, I would say O'Doyle, definitely Daft Bomb. Definitely somebody I was trying to take some, because he was just incredibly crazy, as well as Slow-ass learner as well, because I know Slow moved from the moves up to the moves because his shoulder was hurting with the aim. So again, I was watching how Slow was playing as well. So yeah, Slow, Daft, you know, the move players, obviously they were the ones who were doing the big numbers.
Yes, there's.
I just had to take my chance. Sorry. I couldn't leave it open like that. Like, you just set it up.
Oh well,
Left side
story of my life, mate. Story of my life. But yeah, no. But then again, like with golf, I always used to when I used to watch Seve Ballesteros and Nick Faldo, you know,
Down there, right
how they
next to
played.
it, yeah.
When it comes to football, as a goalkeeper, I used to watch Peter Shilton and all, you know, all the best players. You know, as pool and snooker, I used to watch all. You know, I used to see how they did it, what the world champions did it, because obviously they've got to a position of you know, that level. They must be doing something better than anybody else. And just picking those odd little bits and putting to your own game just make a big difference. But no, I need to get back on board. But obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed, the PSVR 2 version will be just around the corner to test as well. So fingers crossed.
Well, with less than 60 seconds left on the clock, we are going to be closing this out momentarily. It does look like DeathSquad has held the lead thus far, but that could very easily change. 97 to 92 is a very close gap between the two teams. You know, we're looking to see, like, is this going to go to a tie, or is this ultimately going to come down to a victory of one team or the other? I mean, it's really hard to say at this point. But performance by both teams have been absolutely stellar. And to your point of learning from great players, it's a good thing that we were able to capture all this on stream. Because if you're not watching what other people are doing, you're not learning. And it looks like DeathSquad walk away with the victory, 103 to 98. Ladies and gentlemen, your victors and champions of the Alvo Test League, DeathSquad 101.
Congratulations.
You know, perhaps I cast a little bit of a curse, because I did say that I thought Trauma was going to walk out victorious here, not by a lot, but I thought they were going to walk out victorious. But DeathSquad, they formed as a team to take on Trauma, to take them down, and they met their goal. They saw their objective and they conquered it. DeathSquad 101, phenomenal job, great season. And Trauma, you may have won the test league, but you didn't quite win you won the beta tournament, I mean, but you didn't quite win the test league. Definitely come back. You guys are top contenders. I'll tell you this much. When Alpha Squad comes out, we hope to compete against you, because I swear to God, I need to beat you guys once. Just once. I don't care if we lose the whole thing. We need to beat Trauma. You guys are top contenders.
Win one game, or win one?
I'll take a game. I don't care. I don't care if it's a game or the whole match. I don't care. I will take whatever I can against Trauma.
Small margins. Start with the small margins.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. I loved this fight. I'm so glad we kind of postponed it till the end, because talk about a proper conclusion. This absolutely was. The top two teams that were so dominant throughout the course of this league, throughout the course of this competition. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better matchup. And we talked about team composition and what a good matchup would be, and this was it. You couldn't have asked for a better roster for either team.
Absolutely not. They absolutely gave everything, not just tonight, but obviously through the whole of the tournament. You know, were streets heads of everybody else. No disrespect to the other guys, you know, like you were saying, Trauma, original beta league test winners. Now, obviously, they've still come second, you know, against a very, very, very strong DeathSquad, and well done to O'Doyle and the rest of the guys. Great showing. To be 2-0 down, pull it back to 4-2. That's some effort. That's a cracking effort. They got the momentum. They just put it to bed. And well done to all of them. They all chipped in. They all did their bit. Cracking job. And hopefully we'll make them a nice little. Don't know. Can we have a flea market dildo trophy? I know it's not quite the Stanley Cup, but I think we could mount that on something, and it vibrates a little bit when you touch it. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, we could.
Whatever
You never know.
Did he get? Did he get a trophy at all? Did he get a trophy? Did he win?
I mean, we could make one. I don't have any lying around necessarily.
£1 gift
usually
voucher for McDonald's. A $1 gift voucher for McDonald's.
we could do that.
Every little helps.
Yeah, I don't think they have the dollar menu anymore. We'll bump that up to $2 voucher. There we go. You'll get something out of it.
Oh yeah. Cost of living, mate. Cost of living and all that. Yeah. We'll have to give him a virtual trophy or something, won't we? We'll have to. Is it all virtual reality? Give him a virtual trophy. I think that's apt for it. Do they win? Do they get a gun named after them, or a map or something? I don't know.
Well, we can always look.
Tell them what we're doing.
Well, we can always look forward to some more future events coming your way. We at Amateur Hour Commentary are going to continue to bring Alvo coverage. And of course, we got another season coming your way, which we had a little sneak peek of what that's all about. You guys will see the rules being posted up in the main Alvo Discord and the competition Discord as well. So be sure to gather your teammates, make a team, sign up when the signups are available. It'll all be announced, because we want another season just like this one. This is absolutely stellar, and I couldn't have asked for a better turnout. I want to thank every single person from the community who decided to show up, create 8 teams to compete, and complete the season. No one dropped out. No one forfeited. I mean, the season was absolutely phenomenal. I couldn't have asked for a better start and a better test to what the future is going to hold. I'm excited for the Alvo World League. I hope you guys are in... Yeah, you know, nothing, nowhere to go but up from here.
I mean, I want to thank everybody who put their name forward. I mean, like you say, it's all talking about trauma, and obviously congratulations to DeathSquad, but the rest of the teams as well who got their teams together, who turned up as required. You know, get as good as they got. Yes, some of the teams, you know, fair enough, they probably. You know, got mullered when they didn't really need to be mullered, but you know, they still turned up. They still did their bit, and they still made this league what it is. So, you know, massive congratulations to them as well. They're not the forgotten lot. They are, you know, you're in this league for a reason, and may it continue, may it expand. So, you know, get the word out there. Let's get some more teams and players out there, and let's just go from strength to strength.
We have our production guy on screen now. He's not necessarily dressed to the nines, but he's dressed to the -9s.
What's
up, Titch?
He didn't put any hearts in the bloody in the thing. Then he turns up like he's just woken up. Bless him.
Yeah, you know what? All things considered, you know, with the modem dying in the middle of it all, man.
Give this guy a big clap, guys. You know, he's held it all together today. Well done, Sunshine.
So keep an eye on top of everything.
He's over there, actually.
Appreciate
it.
it.
Guys, what you got to remember also, guys, these guys do it for free. This is you know, this is more than a hobby to these guys. These guys put a lot of effort in, a lot of time.
That was
kind of production doesn't turn up. It's not held together by duct tape and bloody coat hangers. You know,
believe
these
me,
guys
it
have
is.
to do it properly.
You can't see it, but it is.
And it's covered in dust, surrounded by garbage.
Mate, I use flea market dildos. I use flea market dildos, mate. It can't be any worse than that.
So, I mean, I just wanted to take a moment, just thank everybody for the support. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Looking forward to the new season. Again, I believe Wolf has rules already set up. I want to clarify something. Anything that has been put to votes or anything that we've discussed, don't take anything until you see the rules, guys. And make sure you read through them fully. And if you have any questions or you have any, please come to us, because it's going to be a lot. There's a lot. Mm-hmm.
If you guys are curious about how many rules there are, there's about 10 to 11 pages worth to read. Yeah, we have tried to cover as much as possible, and a lot of this has to, a lot of credit has to be given to Gaming Synergy in their experience, because this is organized and structured under their rule set. So, it's tried, true, and tested, and I stand behind it. But of course, open discussion is always allowed. I always welcome conversation around the rules, because ultimately you guys and myself, I'm going to be held to the same standard. We are all subject to the rules, and we must abide by them. So
that's sort of the other thing I want to touch base on too. the rules are, once the rules are done, like, don't expect there to be votes, or like, I'm telling you right now, like, there should be no reason for ever to be a vote. They've gone through pretty much every kind of situation, and some are pretty straightforward and clarified. But yeah, just know that going into the next season, it's it's got to be like smooth sailing.
And if you guys,
it's next level, guys. That's the idea. It's going to be the next level.
And if you guys have any questions about the rules, not only will we be posting them, but we'll also be doing some live coverage. It's not going to take about an hour, okay? I promise you that, but we are going to go live, and we're going to review the rules with you. So if you do have questions that need clarifying, we can do that live with you right then and there. And it will happen right here on Amateur Hour Commentary. So if you haven't followed already, please consider following. Hit that notification bell so you're notified when we do go live. And if you're not in the Discords, you need to join, because we're going to be announcing when that event is going to take place. Hopefully it'll be within the next week or two. We hope to start the next season in June. So if you want to be part of that, please join us.
Congratulations, DeathSquad. You did it.
Boys and girls. And
you had an objective. You completed your objective.
I forgot my voodoo doll.
Yeah.
And trauma.
Whatever your game plan was, you pulled it off to absolute quality, guys. Well done. Well done.
But we are going to make our final statements here and bid our farewell. First, before I close things out, I want to say thank you to Plank, aka Mick, aka the master of the flea market dildo sticks. Appreciate you coming on, not only here, but also in some of the other matches as well. You have been a wonderful addition to the cast, and of course, you somehow got me in a suit, or at least half a suit. So you did something right. Appreciate you being here, man.
At least it wasn't in your birthday suit, mate. That's all I'm worried about, because that would have been really awkward, to be fair. But anyway, no, gents, it's been an absolute pleasure. I suppose it's a bit of a, I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I suppose it's fun. I always love to be a commentator, because I never shut up. I can't keep my mouth shut at times, but. And I've got to be massive thumbs up to Dr. Doom. These stats are incredible, matey. I think if we're going to get these on going forward into the World League, oh my God, if they could be, I don't know if Doom wants to. Is he going to post them out to everybody to have a nosy at once now the league is completed? Because I think it'd be really nice for the guys to see what each individual's managed to do over the course of the 7 weeks. Because I think they'll be nice to see where they can improve, where where their shortcomings are going into the next league. Is that a possibility? Leave that with you.
I think that's kind of up to Dr. Doom if he wants to share those. I think with those stats, people could see their overall performance, like you said, and maybe make some changes where they need to. But it's a lot of stats. If you guys are interested in that, I'm sure that he'd be more than willing to share them. But just know it's a long read, and there's a lot to look at.
Yeah, I also want to say, going back to the community as well. I mean, when I was invited into the beta back in late 2021, and obviously COVID had kicked in and we're all in lockdown, it got me through a lot of dark times, and I think a lot of other people as well, because we had the community, we had the shits and giggles, we had the feedback, and we just had an absolute blast. And I think people don't realise that, people think computer games, oh, they're bad, blah, 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 they're not good for you. No, thing is, a lot of people don't get out as much as they can. This does get you into that zone, with people, with like-minded people who just want to have a laugh and a giggle. It's not all about being salty or being, sledging each other, because it's not Fortnite, is it, where you get little twats going, my dad's gonna come round and slap you. No, these are grown-up people. How much would what cost?
For your dad to come around and slap around.
I can do it myself if you want. I can do it myself. But what I'm saying is everybody from the early adopters to the the current guys. Let's keep pushing this forward, because, like I say, this is a game that's not going to stay still. It's going to grow. You've seen games come and go, in the VR market, but this one, You know, there's only a few games that managed to keep the momentum going, and obviously Alvo, with the backing of Steve and Sean and the rest of the guys, you know, they've put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of hours, out of hours as well. And I just want to congratulate them on producing, you know, game of absolute quality, but also a community of absolute quality. And I think hats off to everybody, and see you on the battlefield yet again.
Titch, you got anything you want to say before we head on out?
Again, huge shout out to the community. Thank you guys so much for the support that you've given us. Looking forward to our the new chairman. I guess is that what you're taking? What's your title for going into this new season?
Temporary chair. Temporary chair. Temporary chair. My hope is that I can pass the torch. I just want to create the foundation so that you know, this whole structure can move forward in a positive direction, and hopefully season 1 will be that. Hopefully it'll be designed well enough and people respond to it well enough that we can continue it for you know, seasons to come. So, but all right.
Sorry, I heard some yelling there. Wasn't sure if it was on my end or not. But,
no, I think it was on my end.
That's fine.
No, that'll be Diver running around the bloody room going, "We are the champions! We are the champions!"
You can hear it all the way here. That's insane. It's wild.
I can hear him. I can hear him from the wherever he's at. Mate, he doesn't need a bloody microphone, that bloke. You can hear him from the other side of the planet. I think NASA are going to use him for the next bloody Mars rover, because they're not going to use radio waves. They're going to use bloody diver waves or whatever
him yelling.
you want to call it. But anyway,
all right, but yeah,
he will be buzzing like you. More than anything.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, I'm sure the whole team is just like absolutely stoked right now for taking the win. So, again, thank you to the community for all the support, everything else like that. Congratulations to DeathSquad. Trauma put up a really good fight. Unfortunately, you guys really disappointed me today, but you know, I still love you guys.
Oh, poor Trauma.
Things happen. Well, these things happen. I've seen so much this, like I said to the start of the broadcast, some of the sports events I've seen over the last 3 or 4 weeks blow my mind. And like I say, this is up there. This is up there with one of those events. So, you know, I hope this world's, what do you want to call it, the world's, I would call it the World Super League actually now for some strange reason. But this World League, I think, is going to take to the next level, big time.
Well, I want to close things out, send you guys on your way, and thank everybody for tuning in. The support in the chat has been like way more than we expected, and it's greatly appreciated. Just know that is not going unrecognized. And if you guys haven't picked up the game yet, now is the time to do it. There is a discount right now in the stores, so be sure to capitalize on that, as it is going to end in the next couple of days. So if you haven't picked it up and this hasn't convinced you, I don't know what else will. And if you want to participate, again, join the Discords. If you don't know how to access the Discords, go to the Facebook group page and you can find the links there. Also, you can reach out to one of us in Discord. Just, you know, type in the Wolf Craze or what have you, or reach out to someone who is already part of the Discord and you can get the link that way. I expect to see a lot more teams. If you guys are interested or have any more questions, again, conversation will take place in the Discord. If you haven't followed or subscribed on your respective platforms, whether it's on TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube, be sure to do that, because there are going to be future events to watch and enjoy. But that's going to be it for us here on Amateur Hour Commentary. Thank you so much for participating and watching through all these events in the Alvo Test League. We'll see you guys next season. But until then, peace.
To all, ladies, taters.